Hi there, it's Ruth at Artful Stampin. Today I'm going to do Sunday ramble. It's Sunday night, and I've started clearing my desk, and this is just like a bit of a whole hodgepodge of stuff. So I'm going to just keep tidying up as I talk to you because I've got lots to update you with. I'm really sorry I've got a bit waylaid with doing my videos because I've been busy doing Christmas fairs and yeah, I've been selling a lot of my Dalit candles and spices and stuff like that. If you want to know more about all that kind of thing, please go to ethicalscents.co.uk. And what else have I been doing? Yeah, just leading up to Christmas stuff. So I want to clear my desk because I've got an order of some of the new spring summer products that are available for you guys in January, but we get to pre-order it because we're Stampin' Up demonstrators. Incidentally, I'm fiddling with this gold foil paper just to remind you that don't throw away stuff like this. Always take a little punch to it and maybe punch out some stars or flowers and pop them in a little plastic baggie. Grip seal bag. Grip seal bags are your friends, organisers. For people who have craft spaces, I love grip seal bags. They're a really great way just to organise bits and bobs. Not that you would think that from my table. Anyway, and yeah, please forgive this punch. I have mislaid my Stampin' Up star punch. I do not know where it is. I remember the last time I used it, and I've kind of tried to retrace my steps, and every time I come into my craft room I'm like, oh please can I find it today, but I still haven't found it. So this is, I'm going to have to use this for an event that I'm doing on Wednesday. I'm actually going to be prepping for my class that I'm doing on Tuesday, tomorrow, Monday. And then I've got a lovely event that I do pretty much nearly every year. It's a local support group for people who have experienced cancer or have family that have gone through it. And it's just a lovely little support group that meet once a month, and they like me to come and do a craft, something crafty with them. And it's absolutely such a pleasure to go and do stuff with them. And they always come away having a nice time and doing things that perhaps they've never thought they could do before. I love, you know, seeing people be creative when perhaps they thought they weren't. Anyway, just a tip on organising. Grouping is good. Group stuff. Okay, I tipped these out the other day. I shouldn't have tipped them out, but there we go. They're going to be ready for me to sort out for my class. Anyway, so I've got that class on Wednesday, so that's all getting ready to come up. Now, this watch, the battery's run out. Can I be bothered to go and get a battery to change that? I haven't actually worn a watch for years, but I started wearing this when I found it, and I actually found it quite useful. I think this is going to go in my think about it later. Oh look, there's some sweets from, this is from a swap that I took part in, I think a regional. There we go. I always like to have sweeties on my desk just in case I need some extra energy. Anyway, look, just some grubby stuff here. Oh, that's a Prima flower. So for those of you who know about Prima flowers, I absolutely love those. They're my non-Stampin' Up secret kind of stash that I have. Yeah, for those of you who aren't Stampin' Up demonstrators, you probably won't understand this, but when you become a Stampin' Up demonstrator, it's obviously advisable that you always demonstrate with Stampin' Up products, and that's a Stampin' Up policy. But for us that have been crafters before, we have like secret stashes of stuff that we kind of like keep to one side to use for our own private things. So, because you know, Stampin' Up, you know, are a great company, but they don't do everything. So you know, it's nice to have that little stash away. Okay. Oh, here's some pegs. I love pegs. I always have pegs around. They're great to be like a second hand. I don't know, when you're working on something and you're wanting to glue it down, you can stick a peg over it rather than sitting there holding it. So I always have loads of pegs, and as you probably know from some of my other videos, I love decorating pegs to give as gifts. So yeah, there's another one, stick it in there. Okay. Okay, look, I've got a whole bag full here. Oh, and these are cute dolly pegs. I don't know if anyone ever uses these, but these are lovely for storing ribbon on, because when you store ribbon on there, they don't get creased. So sometimes I wrap ribbon, and then even sometimes when I'm gifting some ribbon, I'll put it around a dolly peg. It's really cute. Okay, what else do I need to tell you about? Okay, so today was a really exciting day in my life, because my husband and I and another couple in this town have launched a new church. So we had our first meeting, public meeting, this afternoon at 3 o'clock, and it so happened to be my husband's birthday as well today, so it was quite a special day. And yeah, we had 25 people come, including all the kids, and we seemed to have a good time together, just worshipping God, and my husband spoke, and he delivered the talk, which was kind of like a coming up to Christmas kind of talk about how Jesus is, a gift to us, and he actually helps fix things in our lives that are broken, and Jesus came to fix our relationship with God, and yeah, it was really good. What have I got here? Oh, okay, I can throw that. I think I saved this. This was just like a scrap piece of rubber that came from the middle of a stamp, and I thought, oh, maybe I would keep it to, actually maybe I will keep it to stamp circles with. Sometimes you just need a plain circle stamped. Where shall I store it? I guess if I put it in my, it's an acrylic block, I'll put that in my, that needs to go away. I'll just have a look at some of my stamps and see maybe if I could put one in with those. Oh, I know. Actually, one of my Stampin' Up downline, she reworked some of her old wooden stamp sets and took them apart and made them so that they're just cling, so that she could use them on clear blocks. And she gave me these blocks that she's not going to use, and they're actually really sticky. Ooh, I wonder if that would work. Stick that on there. Yeah, that kind of works. Oh, whoop-de-whoop. Oh, let's get some ink and see if that works. Oh, there we go. This is what you do with all your spare rubber. Oh, wow. Yeah. Hey, massive polka dots. That's fun. Okay, just need to clean. Oh, I've got something on there. Okay, so if you have a stamp and you find that there's like a patch, just check your stamp or check your ink pad. I don't know if you can see that speck on my ink pad there. I've got something on there, so I'm just going to flick that off. Okay. There we go, that's better. Okay, there we go. Tip of the week. Save your old rubber. I suppose you could even cut a shape out of that if you wanted to. Yeah. Okay. What else? So yeah, so my husband's birthday today, and I bought him a record player because, my parents gave me this old one that we used to use when I was a child. I mean, it was humongous. It was, I can't, the space is not even wide enough for me to explain how big it was. Anyway, I inherited it, and then I think on Freegal or FreeCycle, it's this online thing to recycle stuff. Someone asked for one, and I think I gave it away years ago. And now my husband, a few months ago, he decided he wanted to start listening to all his old records. So anyway, it's a good opportunity to get one. So I bought him one for, this is just junk. I'm just going to throw that away. Yep, so he's now listening to the Bangles. That's a British girl group, which, not my favourite, I have to confess. So that's why he's in the front room doing that, and I'm in here doing this. And what else have I been doing? And then whenever I have a spare moment, I've been trying to finish off a crochet project for my mother-in-law. A little bit of paper. I'm just going to pile little pieces of paper here. It was, a crochet along that I got invited to join via Facebook. It was called the Spice of Life Crochet Along. I think I might have mentioned it before a few weeks ago, and I had set aside some wool for a project to give to create a blanket for my mother-in-law, but it was going to be a bit of a different design. But then I saw this crochet along and I just really wanted to take part, so I started it. So anyway, I'm just going to clear things off here so I can show you. This is all my note-taking for my workshop coming up, so don't look too closely. Put that there. There we go. Right, let me bring it over. Okay, so it's all very autumnally colours. So for any crocheters out there, you might like this. So I just find the bottom of the design. Oh no, that's the wrong way around. Okay, so if you are a crocheter, you'll probably understand this terminology, but you were supposed to crochet the right side, then wrong side, then right side, so basically just go backwards and forwards. But I didn't like that look. I wanted it to look like it was on the right side the whole time and then just have the wrong side on the back. So it's kind of caused me a little bit of a problem because my edges are a little bit uneven and I've had to keep kind of compensating. But anyway, if I just show you how far I've gone so far. So the crochet along meant that for every week there would be a new piece of the pattern released. So the first week I think it was up to there, like that. Then the second week was like that section there, and then the third week was maybe, I think it was that section there, and then the fourth week was to repeat week 1, 2 and 3, and that is where I fell behind. I was just like totally stumped, and then I think I had just a busy few weeks and I just hadn't touched it for ages. So my deadline was actually yesterday because my mother-in-law and my father-in-law came to visit. And I was meant to have it finished by then, but as you can see, I have not finished it yet. So I have nearly finished it. Okay, so this is the little bit more that I've done. And I'm now finishing. I've just got another row of this colour, which I think I've started. Did I start it? Yep, I started it. There it is. So I've just got to finish that row there. And then I'm thinking about blocking it. So if anyone crochets out there, please give me some advice whether you think I should do this. I'm thinking about blocking it first, and all I was going to do was spritz it with water and pin it to my rug in my front room and leave it overnight. Because if I show you let me just get rid of this. Oh, that's a clean piece of paper, that's good. If I show you the edges, oh no, I need to sew in those edges. You'll see that it's a little bit uneven. Okay, and I'm hoping that by blocking it I might be able to just bring those up so they're a little bit more even. And obviously some of the stitches have got slightly different tensions and things, so I just need to, like I think this row maybe is slightly tight. Anyway, so that's my plan, and then there's a border that has to go all the way around it. So there we go, that's my Spice of Life crochet along that I've got to finish. And then the other thing that I wanted to talk to you about that I've been getting into recently, I had a really lovely chat to a friend that I've made through Stampin' Up. Sadly she's not a demonstrator at the moment, although I'm really trying to lure her back in. And we were talking about organising time and schedules and all that kind of thing. Now, so I wanted just to share with you a little bit about how I try to schedule my time. Since the beginning of January this year, I've been much more proactive about trying to organise my time and just being in control of lists of things that I've had to do, because I really got fed up with the way that I had tasks that needed to be completed by certain dates, and then I would maybe remember the night before and then not end up doing that task to the best of my ability because I'd run out of time, and then I hadn't got the time to maybe go to the shops or whatever it was. So I kind of got a hold of myself, and you might think, oh, for goodness sake, Ruth, you're however old you are, 39, you know, is it really taking this long for you to get your head in this kind of mode of thinking? And I'm afraid it has. When I was at university about 20 years ago, I was really super organised. I had a diary, and you know, everything went in my diary. And then I guess when I worked before I had children, I was really organised then. But I've kind of let it slip, and now that I have a downline that, you know, I feel I should help and support, you know, to the best of my ability, and I have other responsibilities with church and community and friends as well, you know, and spiritual life. I just feel that I need to be a bit more organised. So, and sometimes I have to confess I'm a bit daunted by the idea of being more organised, because it feels like I'm giving myself extra work, or I have to actually face the reality that I haven't been organised in the past. And so that is, I sometimes do procrastinate maybe organising things. However, I do know that once I get into the frame of mind of it, I really benefit from it. Okay, so I just wanted to share with you what I've been doing this year. So I got myself at the end of 2014 this really big diary. I just went to my local Smith's store, and I kept looking and looking for different things, and I actually wanted one that was half this size and maybe thick. But then when I saw the layout of this, I thought actually this makes sense for me, because so I've got loads of okay, if I take all the stuff out that doesn't need to be in here first. Okay, see if I can find a fairly blank area. Okay, I realised that I needed something where it had the days of the week across the top, and then time schedule down here, so that I could actually block off areas where I was busy, so that I very visually or in a very visual way, I could just look at a week and see where I was busy doing different things. So I immediately bought also some, where are they? Oh, highlighter pens, they're not here. But anyway, as you can see, I've got green, orange, yellow and pink somewhere. Sometimes I put the pink in, but I think oh, there we go. So first of all, I went through the dates where it's the half-term holidays, because I have 4 kids, and structuring kind of business stuff, I put in business, creating my business timetable has to really fit around my children. So that's not to say I don't do anything for Stampin' Up during the holidays, but I just have to be aware that perhaps I don't have childcare if my husband's working, or if I do organise something, I've got to make sure I have childcare. So I immediately blocked off any areas along the top here that you can see that are in orange. That means it's school holidays. Okay. Then things went in that were weekly things that are kind of unmovable. So once a week I help out, or I run a parent and toddler group. That's on a Wednesday morning, so I block that off. Every Thursday morning I clean, so I block that off. And then on Friday mornings I'm a breastfeeding peer support counsellor, so I block that off. Now that I was really strict with myself up till March. I kind of gave myself to March to really get into this way of working, and I think by almost giving myself leeway for it to fail, I know that sounds a bit weird, but by saying, okay, we'll just see how it goes, it then kind of got me into doing it more, and then the more I did it, the more I enjoyed the freedom that the knowing what I was doing was giving me. Okay, so yeah, and then the other thing I found really helpful was when I had a party organised or an event organised. All the green stuff is like work related. So like here I had a party for somebody, a Stampin' Up party. So here, as soon as I knew that that was scheduled in, I would then schedule time to prepare for that event there. So I would put prep and green it out, so I knew that I had to get that done because it was work related. So I found really helpful. So for example, like every 2 weeks I help run a children's after school club, like a Bible-based thing, and so sometimes I have preparation that I need to have done for that date, so I'll be able to, you know, put that on my to-do list like further on in the week. Now the thing that I have found is that I've ended up using my diary, some of the spaces end up being like to-do lists of things that I need to get done, and so it doesn't mean that I actually have scheduled and, you know, I've got to do that at those times, I kind of just ignore the timetable bit. So, yeah, so I was getting to the point, I am getting to the point where I'm wondering if I need something separate, which brings me on to two things that I found useful recently. Well, no, one thing I found useful recently and one thing I'm looking into and discovering. I've discovered a app that you can download. I don't know if it's available on the iPhone, but it's certainly available on Android. It's called Keep, and it's a Google-based app, and it's basically list making. Now, I'm sorry I can't show it to you because I'm filming using my camera, and that's what my the program is on. So anyway, so that if anyone's interested in just a list making app, but it's more than that. Maybe I'll talk about that another day because I've just realised I'm at 20 minutes. Okay, so really quickly, I've discovered the whole world of bullet journaling, and this again was my friend who I had a really lovely catch up with the other night, and she was telling me that this is what she does. So rather than, I have looked into buying an official bullet journal, and I thought, actually, you know what, I've got some lovely notebooks that are just sitting kind of unused, like I've started, but I've ended up not using loads. So this, I think my sister-in-law bought me this, or somebody. No, actually, my sister-in-law bought me one similar. Maybe I don't know. Anyway, it's beautiful, and I can't remember who gave it to me. If someone gave this to me, thank you very much. It's beautiful. Okay, so this is a new edition, but this is just some like crochet patterns that I started writing down, or some notes to do with crocheting and ideas. Yeah, I don't even know what that is. Okay, so I've decided just to ignore that for now. Okay, so bullet journaling is something that I'm very, very new to, and so I've decided, I had a quick look at the video that's on the official bulletjournal.com website, and I've had a look at Pinterest and also some YouTube videos. So this is roughly how they just tell you to use the system, and this is, if I'm just going to share with you what I've done so far. I only started it very late last night, and I've started writing stuff in it. Okay, so the whole principle is that you have an index to start off with, and then in that you can write your page numbers. Now this notebook doesn't have page numbers, so I'm having to write them as I go along, but if you buy the official one, it does have the numbers at the bottom, which makes life a bit easier. Okay, so I'm leaving space for continuation of the index, because I've kind of left that amount of space because I don't know how much I needed. So I've got my title page here, and I wanted something that was kind of, yeah, spiritual. It was something that speaks to me, a lovely verse from the Bible. So I've got, so whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do all to the glory of God. And I just thought that was just really good to remind me that actually, you know what, I can make all these amazing plans and stuff, but ultimately everything I do, I've got to give God glory. Okay, so then pages 2 to 3 is my December month to view. So this is just, and this is not going to really replace my diary. It's just a very kind of quick look at my months and see what I'm doing. And as I'm very new to it, I lost space here. So I've got all the numbers of the month, days of the month across there with the corresponding day of the week. And then I've put the dates down here as well. And then I've got AM, PM and evening, and then just written in different things there. Okay, then I started writing. Now the whole point about bullet journaling is that it's a diary stroke, notebook stroke, or anything you want it to be, list making system of recording. So you can just, you know, put different things in wherever you want, and because it's all related to a number and the index, as long as you index it here, it means it's going to be easy to find later on. So this list is Sunday stuff, things that I need to remember to pack, because the new church that I'm involved in, we're hiring a premises, so we need to take everything with us. We can't store stuff there. So that's a list of things, and that will probably be added to. Okay, my duvet washing schedule. Okay, yeah, I'm really terrible at remembering to wash our bedding. I'm sorry, I've had to say it. So I try and do it every Monday. Every Monday I strip a bed. So I try and rotate it. So I've got myself, my husband, obviously, and then my children's names, and I'll tick it as we go along. So really, I should, oh no, I won't even put the date in, because that means I'll have to, no, I will have to do it. Oh, anyway, I'll tell you how that works out. Okay, now this is something I've been planning to do for ages and ages, and I finally got around to doing it. I want to plan my Stampin' Up year for next year, so my classes, my bring your own craft days and stuff like that. So I just wanted a piece of paper I could look at and just be able to schedule different things in, so that I have certain, you know, if I have targets, or if I've got new catalogue coming out in June, and then new Stampin' Ups a year starts in October. Here I've got Celebration from January, February, March, and then the spring catalogue from January to May. So that's blocked out. So now, then I'm going to put into here dates of events that I'm going to do. So that's something that I want to get sorted over the next couple of weeks. Then I've put a meal planner. So we had roast chicken today. Oh, now I know for sure we've got a surplus of wraps. So we're going to have something in wraps tomorrow. So I can look at that and plan. Now, oh, incidentally, just quickly back to my diary. I started trying to do a meal planner, but because my kids sometimes have dinners at schools, I got the timetable that the school releases with what the kids are eating, and then this is a really sketchy version of my planner. So I then put in what the kids were going to be eating at school here, so that I would then know to perhaps put a protein in that they weren't eating, because there were so many times the kids would come home from school and I said, oh, well, you know, what did you have for dinner? Oh, we had sausages. I'm like, oh no, we're going to have sausages today. Or, oh, we had bolognese, and then we had bolognese again. So just to make sure that their diets are varied, I try and make sure that we're not eating the same thing that they had at lunchtime. Okay, so that's, yeah, meal planner. Okay, so this is my list of things to do tomorrow. Okay, so the bullet journal bullet journal system suggests that you put things to do in squares. The things that have to, you know, are important, you star them, and then triangles are appointments. Oh, I can't remember what circles were. Anyway, there's a system. I'm going to have to write down a chart for this. Okay, and this is just stuff I need to get done. Okay, so then I thought, oh, I've got my crochet projects that I need to get finished, so that's that. Now this I've decided to be my flex points tracker. Stampin' Up have got a new system of like rewarding us when we do well, and they're doing it through points now. So if you want to go on the incentive trip, you have to earn 160,000 flex points, which being super realistic about the amount of time that I can give to Stampin' Up and my business, I know that that's kind of a really way off target for me right now, because I have other work commitment. I have church commitments, family commitments, and other things going on. So I know I can't put, you know, I can't do a full-time job for Stampin' Up right now. However, I do have a target, or I'd like to reach a certain level. So I've done a flex points tracker up to 100,000 points, and I've already blocked off a few bit up to there now, and as I go along I'm going to block off more. Okay, oh, I've got to hide this. Something new I'm going to be doing next year, so watch this space, is I'm going to be doing a Stampin' Up monthly challenge, and anyone that's in my team or downline, I'm going to be setting them the challenge the month before. So when I set the challenge publicly, you guys are going to have lots of inspiration of, you know, based on the challenge the month before. So I don't want to show you what we're going to be doing. Okay, and then this is just some notes that I've got to do for my Wednesday class. And then I think that's it. Okay, so that's it. That's page 13 so far. So as you can see, I've done quite a lot over the last 24 hours. I don't know if this is going to work for me. I kind of hope it does, because I know I need to be a little bit more organised than I have been already. And also, there are times where I pick up projects and I think, or I see things or craft products I have and I think, oh, it'd be really nice to do that, and I don't end up getting around to making them. But it'll be really, if I write it down, then it's more likely to happen. Okay, so yeah, well, thank you for joining me, and I'm sorry I've rambled for, oh my goodness, only 30 minutes. Oh boy, this girl can talk. Yeah, so hello everybody, thank you for joining me, and I'm sorry I haven't done like a super creative make or anything. I don't even have any, do I have anything nearby to show you that I've made recently? No, sorry. I've just been tidying up. But next week I'll have loads more to show you because I'm planning, I've got a craft buffet coming up and I've got a class on Tuesday. So hopefully this next week I'll film a few more videos. Anyway, thank you for joining me today, and I hope you had a blessed Sunday, and I look forward to connecting to you all again. And yeah, bye and take care for now.